everybody, SonGoshuaku here, ready to review Dragon Ball Episode 12, True Strength. First though, before we get into this video, I want to go ahead and say rest in peace to Yoichi Onishi. Sorry if I butchered that name, but he was a very talented Japanese animator who worked on many of the Dragon Ball series, from Dragon Ball Z, GT, Super, Daima. So thank you so much for his beautiful contributions to the wonderful world of Dragon Ball. That being said, getting started here, we kick off right with episode 12, where Vegeta is being violently blown into this, what is it, the Kurakens, basically, and Son Goku is basically like, oh no, and he thinks it's all over. It looks like Vegeta has been swallowed. Like, dang, what, they didn't want us to see it? Like, it's so brutal. And then you see Goku, he's crying out for Vegeta, where are you? And you start seeing the bubbles of the water coming up, and then this thing's like, you're next, right? Let me eat you. These Kurakens. And so there it is, and he almost took a good giant chunk out of Son Goku, that's for sure. And then from there, boom, nearly miss. And you see, and this is going to be a running theme throughout the entire episode. We get these constant close eye shots at everyone. I'm gonna be serious. I want to see if anybody out there in the comment section or anyone here in the live chat can go ahead and count how many times we're getting this. And so yeah, this thing's coming right after Son Goku, ready to eat, and Goku's like, oh man, because according to what Goku said in previous episodes, is that him and Vegeta just aren't ready to take on these things. So apparently that's what it is. And there you see it on the, is that like the one of those tentacles or something? Yeah, Vegeta is there, and he zooms in, and he looks like disgusted. He's like, all right, let's go ahead and get this fighter. Like, I don't need you, Kakarot. And there you go, Goku. He is excited. He should know how tough Vegeta is. He's been in with him battles and fighting arm in arm, and yeah, Vegeta's telling him to totally get away. And then right after, nowhere, with the, was it the Trident or something like that, I think it's called, we get Tamagami 2. He comes flying right into, Vegeta, and Vegeta already on guard, and boom, is able to block that first shot, and he sends him right toward the Kuraken, and there you see the Kuraken's trying to get Vegeta, and Vegeta's able to dodge, or able to block, as he powers up into Super Saiyan, and flies off. Animation's good. A second, close eye shot that we get right there, and now this thing's really close on the tail of Vegeta. Vegeta's flying away, so he's in two battles here. He's trying to fight from getting eaten by the Kuraken, and he's got to do battle here with the not just the Kuraken right there as he's flying. Just amazing animation. Shout out to the animation staff doing a beautiful job, as they've constantly done over and over here in Dragon Ball DAIMA. And there you see right there, that's where Vegeta gets a taste of his own medicine. You know, the key volley. You know, when Vegeta's like, all that type of stuff. Yeah, so you get basically right here is Tamagami 2. He's trying to go ahead and unleash this all over Vegeta, and so Vegeta's just flying around. Cool shots. They're going into the water here, and right there under the water you see the Kurakens like, no, you ain't going nowhere. He has his eye, another close up of the eye shot here, and Vegeta's looking face at this thing, and he notices like, crap. And then right there, once again, man, Vegeta has just got it rough here. He's got to battle this monster trying to eat him, and then here comes beautiful shot of a blue key bats coming in for from Tamagami 2, and bam, Vegeta's able to block it, but just as he gets hit, there goes a Kuraken, and he is inside the mouth. Vegeta's in the side of his mouth. I can't even imagine the horrific smell. Oh my gosh. And boom, it shuts. And this was really cool how they did the animation here. So we get the electricity sparks start going up through Vegeta's legs, and then we get the sparks going up through his back right there, and then the sparks start going everywhere, because this is all happening inside the mouth of the Kuraken. And I just really love this part, because it is Vegeta going to Super Saiyan 2, aka Super Saiyan 2, but we all more so know it in the Funimation dub / Crunchyroll now as Super Saiyan 2. And so there you go, Kuraken thinks like, this about to be good, and then out of nowhere he's like, and he's like, and boom, and it looked funny, like he burped. It looked like he burped out a big fire explosion, but really it's Vegeta just powering up into SS2 right out of his mouth. And I love the shot right there of Vegeta just flying flying right out of his mouth. And I thought this was pretty funny. Awesome shot. Just SS2 Vegeta looking great, looking on point. Amazing animation right there. Very well drawn. And Vegeta, like, I love this shot right here. Vegeta just flying right towards the screen, going back after Tamagami 2. And we get another close-up of the eye shot right there. I think is that like the third one. I'm going to probably lose track later on. And then from here, we end up getting the Karakin. He's like, F this, I'm done. He says, F it, he's out of here. He said it ain't worth it trying to get this meal and everything. I mean, how much would that, you see how huge them things are? How much can Vegeta really satisfy him in terms of his stomach? So, yeah, he gives up. He's done, and the Karakin goes on. I just love this face. Whoever was the animator that drew this face, phenomenal. That was great. And so, yeah, the Karakin finally goes back into the sea, and, you know, here we are. Vegeta, now, he's basically back to fighting off these ki blasts from Tamagami 2, and from there, man, they're just flying everywhere. They're trying to hit Vegeta over there with Tamagami 2, and this shot was cool. We get where I think they're using CGI for the water, but it looked phenomenal here. Vegeta's just flying all throughout the sea, trying to evade these blue ki blasts, and there goes Tamagami 2, flying right towards him into the right towards the screen, and Vegeta, he's trying to stay on point, and I love this. Look how Vegeta did the fake out. I'm flying, making it look like I'm not trying to pay attention. Maybe I'm still concerned about all these creatures underneath the water, and like, nope, gotcha. He goes for the ki blast and shoots it. Boom, there we go. A fourth eye shot we get here in this episode, and Vegeta goes ahead, and that just looks sick right there. He blasts the blue ki, the golden ki blast right towards Tamagami 2, and it's like it's getting really close to his face, and Tamagami just swoops around like, nope, you can't catch me with that. And so Vegeta then at SS2 flies towards Tamagami, and boom, we get a huge collision headbutt. So Vegeta's right now, I love that face. Vegeta's saying like, nah, it ain't over. It ain't over, not like that. I'm fighting you right now. Let's go. It's gonna take a lot more than that. Oh man, you guys know I'm a big Vegeta fan. Obviously not as much of a Goku fan, more of a Goku fan, but Vegeta's my number 2, so I had to rep the Vegeta Saiyajin armor tonight. So right here, they both bounce off of one another from the headbutt, and I love the animation where Vegeta just flies around Tamagami 2, and from here, you know, he's just moving as quick as he can, and boom, Tamagami 2 comes right in with that trident, and then bam, he goes for it again, and he's looking towards. We get these little close, cool shot faces. I love them right here, and he tries to stab Vegeta, and Vegeta's like, he basically dodges out of the way. A fifth eye shot we now get of Vegeta looking, closing right into Tamagami 2, and he punches him in the forehead, and oh, ladies and gentlemen, look at that ding, like, boom, like, man, he got Tamagami, and he felt that. He felt Vegeta's power right there. So that was Vegeta's reminder that no, this ain't gonna be easy. He felt the power of the Saiyajin Prince. And right here, Tamagami 2, he's not letting up. He comes in with a fist of his own, but Vegeta dodges him, and then Tamagami 2's like, okay, you got skill, but we ain't out of this yet. And so Tamagami 2 looking up over Vegeta, and boom, right on the cheek, Vegeta with the knee. Oh, what's good, right? Vegeta right now at SS2 clearly outclassing Tamagami number 2 right here. And Tamagami 2, to his credit, it takes a lot more, but Vegeta powers up. He's ready. He's like, let's go. And Vegeta flies up into the sky, creates some distance for Tamagami 2, and then Tamagami 2's getting closer, and from here, they both go right for the fence, swinging for the fences, and boom, collision. Vegeta stops it with his fist, and then they go at it again, and boom, Tamagami stops it with his knee, and he's like, and I love it, man. You got two big, just titans, two big alpha males right here, not one to let one have the advantage over the other. It's great, and we get this really cool, this is classic Dragon Ball Z. You guys remember, you know, when we get the far away shots and they got the blasters, boom, 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 boom. Sorry, hit the mic there, but hey, boom, maybe it added some of that sound effect of how the boom sounds, right? So we're getting that all over the place, and I love that everybody's concerned. Piccolo's like, he's trying to figure it out. Son Goku's like, oh wow, this is great, guys. You know. And Panzy, she is completely concerned because she's not actually concerned. She's actually amazed that Tamagami 2 and Vegeta are having such a great fight here, and Vegeta's holding his own. All right, before we get to the next portion, let me take a sip of water here because I got a lot more talking to do. All right, so we get this cutaway to where Majin Duu is still fighting Tamagami number 1. And so right here, Majin Duu is basically, he's up here, basically, like I said, he was kind of doing the Brock Lesnar dance, and then right here, he's just doing all these unorthodox poses, and he flies off. And as we saw in the previous episode, Majin Duu, even though he, as Vegeta said in the Dragon Ball Broly movie about Broly, he's learning as he fights. Yeah, I mean, right here, Majin Duu learning as he fights, and Tamagami 1 has been struggling. It has not been good for him in this fight. And so Tamagami 1 goes for using his sword, and boom, look at that. Majin Duu's able to curve around. He has completely mastered Kid Buu's way of fighting, and he's up here just taunting him. At this point, even though this is his first fight, even though he's learning how to fight, Majin Duu is showing no respect at all to Tamagami 1. He's flying in the sky, and then right there, he's got his butt all in the air, like just not giving his back up, ladies and gentlemen, giving his butt up to Tamagami number 1. And then we get this close shot of his butt crack right here, and Tamagami 1 is perplexed. He has no answer. Don't want to put up a guard. He's just trying to figure this guy out. He doesn't understand. So what type of maneuver is he gonna do? Oh, he does it. I've been telling you guys, Majin Duu has been constantly doing his studies on the Anoa'i, aka Samoan family, and WWE. We saw him break out Nia Jax and Yokozuna's iconic Banzai drop. We saw him go ahead and even break out even some other non-Samoan moves like the sweet chin music from Shawn Michaels, and he breaks out yet another one to Rikishi, the stink face. He has given Tamagami 1 the stink face. There is no utter disrespect than that. And so right there, this is crazy, man. This is wild. Dragon Ball DAIMA is wild, folks. Tamagami. Majin Duu has so much respect that he's made Tamagami 1 eat the booty like groceries. Tamagami 1 is eating Majin Duu's booty like it's groceries. Look at that. That is just disrespect. Wow. So Tamagami 1, he lifts his knees up because he obviously, thankfully, Tamagami 1 has no nose because I don't even want to imagine the smell there. And so he goes to kick Majin Duu and sends Majin Duu flying and into the wall. And what happens? Majin Duu just bounces right off, right off there. And man, he's just going all types of crazy here. So Majin Duu basically jumps off of this wall, and he's propelled himself back to the area where they're fighting. And look at this, once again, no respect at all for Tamagami 1's fighting ability. Majin Duu is just now running around like crazy in circles, like woo. And there you see right there, Dr. Arensu and Majin Ku, they are basically like in awe, like wow. And then here you go, speed attack right there, and boom, Tamagami 1 is able to dodge it, ladies and gentlemen. And look at this. This is how he reacts to him getting his tag block. So you're thinking, okay, Majin Duu is off guard. What happens here? Oh, he goes for the sword attack. And once again, Tamagami 1 falling for the same trick over and over, where Majin Duu puts his head into the into his sternum, very much similar to the way Kid Buu used to do things. And so the fight continues from here to where now Majin Duu's like he's holding on to Tamagami 1, and then he basically swoops around, and look at this, he has all this time to do go all like that. Meanwhile, Tamagami 1 is still in the same position. He is so slow to react, he's still stuck in the same position. And look at this, he's got time to go ahead and taunt him, and Tamagami 1's looking all over here while Majin Ku's all over here. Like, man, he is embarrassing this man right now, embarrassing Tamagami 1, who I think, I don't know if it was mentioned, or maybe I just assumed it, but was Tamagami 1 supposed to be the strongest of all the Tamagamis? Oh man. And then look at this, Tamagami 1 turns back around, but he's so slow, just too slow. No answer for Majin Ku here. And then right there, look, he's even shocked himself. Like, the fact that we're not seeing that cool, calm, collected face that we saw throughout the entire fight that he had with Majin Ku, we're seeing it, it's just non-existent here with Majin Duu. And he goes again for a shot, too slow. And then Look at this. Look at this. He's shocked because Majin Duu has enough time to just stand there on his sword and go, you know, like, man, all type of embarrassment for this man. And look that's all Tamagami 1 can do. It's like Dee Dee from Dexter's Laboratory. If you guys remember that from the 90s, if you're a 90s kid like me, you'll probably remember that cartoon when Dee Dee, there's an episode where she's like, that's all you can say, that's all you can say. Well, in terms of Tamagami 1, that's all you can do, that's all you can do. It's just look perplexed right there. And look at Majin Duu, like, let's go. He's like, boom, he's like, no respect. That's how much respect he has for Tamagami 1. And then he goes for the punch with such speed and velocity. And right there he stops, just to understand the difference in speed, just faking him out. He's punking out Tamagami 1 here, and it's crazy, ladies and gentlemen. And he does a backflip. That was just to let him know the power difference, like crazy. He could have knocked him into next week, but he wanted to say, no, let me just go ahead and show you what it's like. And so from here, you got Majin Duu. He basically lands on the ground, and now he stopped. He's stopping the fighting. He's like, what's going on here? And he's sad. Now he's looking sad, like, oh, well, what's going on here? And he turns back and he's like, I want chocolate. And Majin Duu's like, and Rinsu's like, what? Like this is not the time for chocolate. And they're trying to make him understand that no, chocolate is not now. It is fighting time, not chocolate time. And he's looking like, and he's like, and he starts, I want chocolate, and he starts going on the ground having a temper tantrum, chocolate. Oh my gosh, dude, this is why I love Akira Toriyama's work, because he is so creative. He knows how to go between comedy and seriousness in such a great way. Like, man, like, whoever saw this coming here in the fight? And so in the middle of this fight, Dr. Arisu, she's like, she cannot believe this. And Majin Kuu's like, well, I can go into the latest store and pick up some more chocolate. And so he flies off. And Tamagami 1 right here, he's like, oh, I see. And so realizing that, okay, this is his time to attack, he sees Majin Duu just basically acting like a little spoiled child on the ground because he can't get his chocolate. Tamagami 1 picks him up by the head tentacle and pulls him up, and he swings that sucker around like, woo, boom. Look at the anger. Can we talk about this? We've seen him cool, calm, and collected, but man, have we not seen Tamagami 1 get angry? He's been, lost, but man, he took this personal. He took that personal. That is the face of a man who has been humiliated, and now it's his time for payback. And he throws him. He puts a lot of oomph into that throw, and there goes Majin Duu, boom, blasts that wall. That man destroyed that wall, and look at Arensu now. She's sweating bullets because that was her meal ticket. This was her cash cow to get that Dragon Ball, and now he's about to get wrecked because she didn't want to give him any chocolate, or I guess she couldn't give him any chocolate, right? And so there's my man Tamagami 1, takes his sword out the ground. He's like, let's go to work. And then boom, look at that boy flies towards the screen, and he's like, whoa! He is angry. It's payback time. As the great Jim Ross, if you're a WWE fan, would say, ladies and gentlemen, there is hell to pay by God. And Tamagami 1, we get another eye shot. I don't know, is it like the 6th one or something? And so from there, Tamagami 1 ends up flying over. No, actually, that was a cool transition shot. That was Tamagami 1. We actually transitioned out of the eye. So this is the 7th eye shot of Tamagami 2. Let me take a sip of water here, because man, I love the back shots of back and forth of this action. All right, so Tamagami 2. Is still fighting Vegeta here, and bam, there you go. He's still trying to stab Vegeta, and then he's going in again. Vegeta's just doing a great job of evading, and Vegeta flies right back, goes in for an electricity powered punch, and boom! Oh, decked him. There, ladies and gentlemen, he got all of that. Oh, man, Tamagami 2 now struggling. Vegeta is here to play, and look at this. He left a dent. He felt the power. Tamagami 2 had no answer for that. All they're just like, oh, he felt all of that. And Vegeta comes in for another shot, and to Tamagami 2's credit, he's able to block it. That's okay. My man Vegeta's like, you think that's what it's gonna take? Boom! I'm like, I got you. I got you, because he catches without even looking, still looking at Tamagami while trying to punch him. He's able to stop his trident, and then he goes ahead and starts yelling. We get what is this, the 8th eye shot in this episode, and then there's Tamagami 2. Now Tamagami 2 is looking frustrated. Vegeta has gotten to him. Vegeta has gotten to this man, and Tamagami 2, what does he got an answer for? And there you see Panzy. She's like, oh wow, we got this. Vegeta is clearly winning, and what we get here is Neva. He's like, yes. Well, I've got something for you, Vegeta. So he puts his staff into the ground, and he starts doing this this hand motion and really cool animation effects right here. And I'm like, well, what's going on here? And so he ends up shooting this into the sky, and it ends up he shoots this energy into Tamagami 2's butt. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Tamagami 2's butt, as you can see right there on the animation, and it triggers this huge boost of power into Tamagami 2. And right there, Vegeta is struggling, but look at Tamagami 2's face now. Tamagami 2's like, we ain't over yet. It ain't over. This fight ain't over. It's mine. So Tamagami 2's angry now. He's glowing with his eyes, with his red. The Dragon Ball is glowing, and Tamagami 2 now he gets never gave this boy this shine. Because look at this, that shine right there, man, it boom creates this big blast explosion to Vegeta, and wow, you can see it right there, and everyone's like, oh, I think somebody in the group, they asked, what was that for? Are you on our side or his side? And Neva's response is, well, he said he likes to fight, so I wanted to give him a better fight. So he's taking Vegeta's blood buff here. So apparently Tamagami 2 was not strong enough. He needed the power of Neva, but look at Tamagami 2. That boy is focused. He's gone blue in the face, purple. Usually that's an indication that this boy might be scared, but he's not. He is focused. He's calm, collected. Vegeta's got the gritting teeth. Vegeta is the one struggling now. And so Tamagami 2 goes for, boom, the headbutt to Vegeta, and there we go. Vegeta felt that power. That is the look of someone who now has power. He has a reason to respect Tamagami 2 as he steps back now. Kind of cheap though that Neva had to do. I mean, Vegeta fights on his own. That's why we like Vegeta, right? So then from there, he takes his trident, swings it to Vegeta, and Vegeta tries to block it, but it's to no avail. Tamagami 2 is with too much power, is able to yank this thing, and boom, picks Vegeta up and swoops him down, boom, quickly, and goes on the charge, keeps the pressure on him as he leaves towards him, and Vegeta has gone into the water, deep into the sea, and now Vegeta's going to fly, and remember, under there, you got to worry about those Karakens, but for whatever reason, the rest of the episode, these Karakens are gone, and so Vegeta's trying to swim away, create some distance. Tamagami 2 is fast on his track. You can see just how quickly Tamagami 2 has catched up to him, and then from there, he's gotten right up close to Vegeta's feet, and he goes ahead in front of Vegeta, I believe, and so Vegeta tries to go up, and right there, Tamagami stops him dead in his track, and he's trying to, and once again, I really love the animation props here, because the animation is able to keep things moving very slowly, because to emphasize that, okay, Vegeta's underwater, he's going to move a lot slower, and Vegeta's barely dodging this. He starts shooting ki blasts, and then boom, Tamagami 2 says, get that out of here, and then it goes into the rock there, and there you see, man, right now, Vegeta has his back against the wall as the explosions are coming out of the water, big time, man, all over the place. Tamagami 2 now's got his ki blast, and he shoots it towards his trident, and boom, creates a tornado underwater, and Vegeta's swimming, and he realizes that Vegeta's like, oh crap, and Vegeta's trying his best to dodge this thing, and we get another close-up the eye shot. Is that number 8 or 9 now? I'm losing track. And from here, Vegeta basically gets wrecked with this thing, and you see the wide open mouth, and from there, you get another tonsil look, and this switches back to Majin Duu now. All right, so Majin Duu at this point is running. He is running. Boy, how have the tables turned? See, I can at least respect Tamagami 1 here, because Tamagami 1, it ain't his fault that Majin Duu can't fight well because he ain't got chocolate. That sounds like a personal problem, to quote a good friend of mine's. But here's something here. At least with Tamagami 1, he didn't need Neva to go ahead and give him that extra power boost, which makes me wonder, could this fight have been different had Neva been there to give Tamagami 1 that extra power boost? And so from there, Tamagami 1 swings for the fences on his head, and you'll notice here, instead of coolly being able in a very cool manner, being able to take his head and put it in his torso, he has to force his head in his torso. So that tells you just how off his game Majin Duu is without chocolate, and he's barely able to evade that, and he's barely able to evade this next shot. And look at Tamagami 1, he's like, ah! He is ready, he is angry, he's ready to just put the hammer down on this guy. And so from there you see they're running all over the palace. Gorgeous background. I love these backgrounds in Dragon Ball DAIMA. And so here the military police of the gomah, as they're called, the Zandamari, basically, they come on out, and man, here they are. They're looking in just completely in complete awe of this, and I don't even know who this woman is, basically, that we're seeing here. I have no idea who she is, because it looks like somebody they've held captive, and she looks completely spooked. So I wonder if she's going to play a role in episode 13 coming out this week. And so here you go, Tamagami 1 doing his best Trunks impersonation, because we know that's how he and Trunks ended up going ahead and taking out Frieza and having boom, right? That was really awesome when he did that one. And so he comes down and boom, that one could have been it for Majin Duu. No, I'm pretty sure you gotta vaporize every single cell of his body, because that's how you took out Majin Buu. And so yeah, Majin Duu just not having any answers for these shots. It's going into the ground there, and here you see Gomah and Degesu. They're still looking at the fight with Tamagami 2 and Vegeta, and this is actually because they feel like an earthquake, or I guess here the Demon World 3 quake is what you would call it, and they're like, what the heck is going on? So they switch over, and here Degesu, they see that, oh, Tamagami 1 is fighting some other thing that they don't know that looks like Majin Buu, and Gomah's like, what's going on here? And so you see Majin Duu, who you gotta admit, it's cool that he's actually able to still dodge these, but barely able to dodge this. And you know, he's doing leapfrogs and everything. He's turning around, doing stretches, ballerina dances. He's standing on the light itself, however that's possible. And Tamagami 1's focus, he's trying to just finish this guy off, and nothing is working. And that's a testament. Like, these shots are awesome. Just the way he's going in for all these different shots. Like, man, animation looking on point here, and just going as much as he can. Like, he is trying to get at this, and Majin Duu is dodging all of it, dodging every single shot. And you kind of wonder, like, no wonder he has no chance against him. If this is Majin Duu at his weakest and he still can't land it, imagine once he gets some of that chocolate in there, because yeah, no answer. And that's where Majin Buu comes into the scene, and in a scene that kind of very much reminds me of when Kuririn, aka Krillin, took the sensu bean and threw it at Goku. He comes in here and he's like, "Doo, chocolate!" And he's like, "Whoa!" Throws that sucker basically right at him, and the way the animation works here is hilarious. It's just as ridiculous, but that's what we've come to expect. I mean, that's what you're gonna get out of Akira Toriyama's work. He's such a gag manga artist at heart. And right here, Majin Duu has locked on to the chocolate bar, and he jumps up there, and once again Tamagami 1 has missed, and we get this cool shot as it zooms in. He's getting closer, and we get sparkles. He's like, and he's like, ah! Boom! He eats the chocolate, and there his eyes are up. So essentially, it's like Scooby snacks from, you know, when Scooby-Doo, when, you know, you have Shaggy go like, "Hey, Scoop, we're gonna go and get it. Go ahead and get some of those Scooby snacks." And you know, all of a sudden now he's brave, just like Majin Duu is now strong again. And so he eats the chocolate, and boom, you've got the classic air coming out of his whatever his holes are that's on his arms and his head, very similar to the original OG Majin Buu, and now he is got the stomach full of air, and here comes a big giant green blast straight out of his mouth, and it gets whoosh, launched right to Tamagami 1, and Tamagami 1, he ain't backing down. He's gonna try to stop this thing, and boom, he hits it with it. He's able to block it with his sword. And Majin Duu unleashes another green blast that this time sends Tamagami 1 flying back, and it sends him right into the wall nearly. The animation is just looking on point. Like, just look how sick the animation is. The dust from the ground, just phenomenal. And you see from a faraway shot how big this explosion is. This thing is going all out the place and blows up. And there you see the rocks. Man, he literally buried Tamagami 1 in the rocks, and Tamagami 1, he's like, I'm not gonna stop, I'm gonna keep going, and Tamagami 1 just keeps running at it, and oh, ladies and gentlemen, he may have not wanted to stop, but his body is feeling it now. Tamagami 1 is being wrecked. He's being pushed to the limit, and here you see Degesu starting to sweat, and Gomah just can't understand what's going on here, and so Degesu like, it can't be. They see that the one responsible for this is Dr. Arinsu, who they thought was working with them, because of course that's Degetsu's sister. And Gomah's like, oh, and they can't believe, like, what is she up to? And there you see Tamagami 1 with just hanging on by a thread at this point. He's battle damaged, he's scratched up, he's sucking wind, and there you see Majin Duu. He's rejuvenated from the chocolate, and he's like, ah, ha, 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 you know, pointing him like, ha, 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 ha. And so he goes into a ball, and right here, talk about some extra power. Tamagami 1, he starts bringing the heat up. Literally, he gets even stronger. So it looks like he's powered up. He's powering up. He has one last big giant attack left in him, and so we get the big giant collision. Who's gonna win this struggle? And there you see Dr. Arinsu. She's looking on. She's like, oh no. And then you see Tamagami 1. He's got this blade. He's ready to unleash the ultimate attack. And I love that Majin Kajaku's like, oh, he's scared, but he's hoping at the same time. And from there, as they are about to collide, Majin Duu stops midair, is able to jump onto that blade, but Tamagami 1, he takes that blade and he twists it on the other opposite side, and then Majin Duu is able to reverse it by doing a big what was that called? A backflip and everything, lands on his feet, and then from there, Tamagami, oh, look at that face. Majin Duu at this point. Majin Duu is serious. Like, that is the first time we've seen him serious. At this point, it's like, playtime's over. Majin Duu is coming in for that kill, and he's got another, I think this is our 9th or 10th eye shot that we get in this episode, and look at Tamagami 1. He is ready. He is still focused. That boy is looking hot. Look at that. And then, my gosh, like a sun hot. Like, he's looking flaming hot like the sun. Yikes. And he goes ahead and he puts that sword forward, and right there he goes north towards Majin Duu's neck, and this is crazy right here. Majin Duu swirls his neck around. Now look at that blade. Look how sharp it is, ladies and gentlemen. You see how sharp that blade is? That is, like, incredible. Like, that's how you're gonna scratch your neck up, but that's just how good Majin Duu is, or his durability. That was insane when I saw that. I'm like, dang. And from there, even Tamagami 1 is in shock, because yeah, you're gonna take your neck and swing it around my blade like that? Like, man, that was crazy. And from here, boom, he's able to land a nice headbutt right to the face, and Tamagami 1 felt all of that. Look how wide that mouth is. He felt every single bit of that, and he's barely able to catch his footing, but he still comes forward anyway, and he goes in for another attack with his sword, gonna try and slice Majin Duu, and it just ain't, Majin Duu, it's not working, and he is left like he cannot believe it. He's giving it his all. He's powered up to the strongest, and Majin Duu is serious now. Like I said, he's got a serious face. He's ready to end this, and bam, he's dodging all those attacks with ease, and at this point, Tamagami 1, he's no answer. He's just all over the place, like how to hit him. He doesn't know. And look how fast Majin Duu is moving, and he shoots out this ki blast right here, unleashes it, and Tamagami 1, he's gonna go ahead and try to stop this thing. He tries to stab this ki blast in there, and he's using all his might. He's and right here you get the final big power-up showdown. There's a lot of power. Who's gonna win? Tamagami 1 going all out. Majin Duu, I think, going all out, and they both disappear inside the ki blast, which is an indication we're gonna have either a draw or one's gonna survive. And they basically take out the whole ground beneath them, and you see this big green light basically coming up all over here with the where they're fighting here, and it settles, and it's like, who won? And there it is. Tamagami 1 is completely out. Oh my gosh. And there you see Majin Duu like, oh yeah, I won, right? And the sword comes swinging in the air and boom, lands right there. Perfect timing. And at this point, they can't believe it. And then nor can the Zandamari guys. And even Majin, Goma's like, what? And even Degesu, he's getting like, oh, I can't believe this. It looks settled there, because that is a defeated man right there. Tamagami 1. There's no pose that say you're more defeated unless you're doing Yamucha, aka Yamcha's pose after the Cyberman blew him up. And it's at this point Tamagami 1 says, I give up. You win. I can't do this anymore. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, it is all over by submission. The winner, Majin Duu. And he's like, oh, he's flexing. That boy is flexing. He ain't got much to flex, but hey, when you got those fighting skills, you don't gotta look like you got much to flex. You just let your fighting and your actions speak the words, and they do all the flexing for you. And so he starts going ahead, pumping himself up, you know, basically very much like the way Kid Buu would do. So yeah, and there you see Majin Ku is super happy to see his brother win. You see, look at that pose of Dr. She's like, you know, she's so proud of my baby boy. Man, she is ecstatic. So that is crazy. And there you see Majin Duu just celebrating, doing more ballerina dances, doing some break dancing, and he's like, and this is where Tamagami 1 says, okay, time for the final test to see if you can get that Dragon Ball. And at this point he stops and he's like, huh? Man, so what if let me get a sip of water here. All right, so basically continuing on here, we get Gomah, who is basically trying to figure out what the heck is Dr. Arensu doing? Like, what is she doing here? And even there you see, basically you have her brother Degesu. He's trying to basically at this point wonder, like, maybe she just thought she'd get the Dragon Balls for us and make it a lot easier. And Goma's like, nah, she wouldn't do something that nice. And so at this point, everybody's faces stop because they realize it ain't over. There's this test that we gotta finish. And so very much similar, we go to where that Dragon Ball light is, and I find it interesting, the Zandamari and whoever this woman is that they're holding captive, they all line up, so they're not even trying to stop this. They're just sitting back. And I guess what you're gonna do when what can you do when you see the Tamagami 1 fighting and literally losing? Like, I guess you got no tension to get involved, because you ain't stopping these guys. So Tamagami 1 basically explains that with this, he's gonna have all these numbers where the Dragon Ball light is, and essentially Majin Duu here is gonna have to figure out what's the numbers. He's gonna see them all coming around here. They're all gonna appear, and they're gonna be going at lightning fast speeds, and that's how you see most of them are going there, and they start forming these numbers right here. And so Majin Ku, pay attention, he's doing a very good job of looking at all of this, and the numbers, they start forming even more numbers. And Dr. Arensu's like, I'm not following along here. More numbers, they appear from here. And this is where, once again, we're being shown that another eye shot. This is the 10th or 11th one in this episode. So Majin Ku, he is basically looking right here very closely. And from here, you see the question marks. And this is where Tamagami 1 is like, okay, it's time for you to guess. And Majin Duu's like, oh, he doesn't know what to do. And you see very much, I thought, interesting enough, just like Panzy when Goku had to go through his test, Dr. Arensu was like, that's impossible. I couldn't even see what it is. What type of rip-off trick is this? So you actually beat the Tamagami and you got to figure this out, which I don't really understand either. Like, just because you're a great fighter, you might not be the best at all these math tricks, right? Likewise, just because you're very good at math, you might not be the best fighter, right? So yeah, but this is what is needed. And so he's asking, how much is there? And I just love how gestural Tamagami 1 is, like, how what is it? What is it? And so Majin Duu, he out here, he whispers he goes out and whispers, and I had to write the number down because ain't no way I was going to remember this number. So here in my notes I'm looking, he whispers 683,775,029 is the number. And so Majin Duu hears what Duu says, and so Tamagami 1 says, well, what is it? And so Majin Duu, he basically repeats back what he says, 683,775,029. And there you go. Man, I know a lot of us out there would love to have that type of money for sure, right? That'd be cool if it was that easy, right? And then from there, Dr. Arensu's like, did he get it right? And everyone's looking like, uh-oh, did he? And Tamagami 1's looking over. He's like, He looks up. And then the numbers, they appear exactly as he stated it was. And he says, that is correct. You have earned the Dragon Ball. And everybody's celebrating quickly, but Dr. Arensu's like, oh. And once again, I love, if you look in the back shot, that lady, she does not care about any of this. I don't know what they've done with this poor lady, but everyone else there, they're like, oh, that was cool. We just witnessed the fight of the century. Wow. And he pulled off the upset. And Dr. Arensu is completely happy. And there's Majin Duu. He's smiling, so proud of himself. And from there, Tamagami 1, he takes the Dragon Ball out and hands it over to Majin Duu. And from there, Majin Duu is now in possession. He's like, yeah, he has that Dragon Ball. And Dr. Arensu, she is ecstatic. She has gotten what she wanted, one of the Dragon Balls. And so the Dragon Ball lights go ahead and they disappear from there. And from here, Tamagami 1, he's smiling and he has no hard feelings. And Majin Duu takes the Dragon Ball and he hands it over to Dr. Arensu. And she is ecstatic. She's happy. She has the Dragon Ball in her possession, and he just starts going ahead back to the Brock Lesnar dance, dun, 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 and starts doing some break dancing as well from it, and posing. He's so much like Ginyu Force and all that stuff and everything, ballerina dances. And Majin Duu mentions, like, it looks like I wasn't so useless after all, which he wasn't, but I guess only Majin Duu could, only Majin Duu was able to hear him. And she's like, what are you talking about? As Majin Duu's dancing in the background, she's like, what are you talking about? You didn't do nothing but just sit there and come along for the ride. And Majin Duu's like, oh, I guess you're right. Even though he was the one, right? But for their sake, it's probably best he doesn't mention that he told him, because that would probably be considered cheating. I'm surprised Tamagami 1 didn't hear it. Like I said, only Duu was able to apparently hear it. So there it is. And he's like, yeah, I guess you're right. But yeah, it's a good thing. I love it. And Toriyama's such a master at doing this. He did it so well with Mark Satan, who a lot of people will know if they watch it on Toonami as Hercule Satan. But he was very good making weak characters become very useful. So Toriyama was always really good at that, and I love even more so how he's done Majin Duu. I know I ragged on the character and everything, having some fun and jokes and stuff, saying that he looked like a fusion or a love child of Pai Kuhan, aka Pai Khan, and the Saibai Man, and Majin, what was it? And Kid Buu and everything, but I was just dragging. And yeah, I said he looks whack, but that's the thing though. Majin Duu was designed to look whack because he's a wacky type of character. Toriyama didn't design him to be taken serious, and so because he is not a main villain, this character really works well. The design works really well. So I just wanted to make sure I emphasize that yes, I have. If anyone thinks that I was trying to basically look at this character and be like, oh, this was completely whack. Like, no, once it settled in and it made clear that he was a gag character, it made sense. And even if he wasn't, like I was saying, even in that very first video, is that Toriyama is a master of making goofy, wacky looking characters menacing, as he did with Fat Boo. And so I think the dynamic of what's being worked here with Majin Duu is working really, really well. And so you have Gomah here. He is livid because now 2 of the Dragon Balls is not in his possession. And he sees, there you go, Dr. Arensu, like she's a proud mother leaving home with her boys because one of her boys at least took home the big trophy prize. And like I said, Degesu, he was just trying to figure out what is going on here. And Gomah's like, turn back to the other fight. Surely they won't get it against Tamagami 2. So we get right back to that fight. And oh boy, the biggest thing that this episode was known for. So let's get back into this. All right, so we got SS2 Vegeta basically still struggling, and Degesu's like, what? He's still fighting? He's still in this fight? Of course Vegeta don't go down that easy. What you thought it was? And Gomah's like, wah! And right there, once again, Tamagami 2, he is taking the fight over to Vegeta big time, sends Vegeta flying once again back into the water, and he's hot on his trail, staying on him, and Vegeta's doing his best to try and dodge the trident, and man, Vegeta is just on the ropes ever since Neva gave Tamagami 2 that huge power up. Right now, look at this, just with ease, Tamagami 2 smacking his blast away. Vegeta goes in for that punch, which worked earlier, but not now. And Vegeta, you can see it. He can see the frustration, like, oh, this isn't working. And from there, oh, he gets all that power right to the gut, Tamagami 2. And that's gotta hurt even more, given, look how big his hand is, his fist is, compared to Vegeta's body since they got turned back into kids. And from right here, you see that punch, and right here, he unleashes another ki blast, like, boom! Oh, Vegeta is all up in that explosion, and it's done such a huge amount of damage that base form Vegeta is what Vegeta's been reduced back to, and he falls to the ground unconscious. And it's like, oh snap, I thought this was gonna be earlier in the episode, as I was in the previous preview, and it's like, what is Vegeta gonna do here? And Vegeta grabs his fist, and then he gets, once again, we get another eye shot. This is number 9, 10, or 11, and like I said, I've lost track. And Vegeta basically right here, he starts doing electricity, and he goes SS2 again, and he starts powering up. And now this is the part where, when I was watching the episode, I'm like, what's he doing? And from here, he starts powering up with that golden blast and electricity, and it starts pushing Tamagami 2 back into the surface, and this big golden ki blast starts wavering right out of the water. Awesome effects with the CGI water right there, and to the point where like it's raining on Tamagami 2, and Vegeta is powering up. He's like, ah! And he's got the electricity, so I know he's reached his max at SS2, and this, ladies and gentlemen, is where I realize, I'm like, no way. We're actually gonna get it. We're actually gonna get it. And he starts going for this power, but he's like, ah! And from here, we start seeing the hair go back, and I'm like, oh, let's go. Literally, this was my reaction when I was watching the episode. I was like, let's go, let's go. Man, I just hit so much, I just broke my fingernail. That's how power I was right here. Man, like my fingernail just broke off of here. Like, yeah, I was like, he's like, let's go. I was like, let's go. Give me the power. I'm like, give us the power. The moment we've been waiting for. And you start seeing that hair getting long, and my gosh, the hair is getting longer, but look at the animation in the water. Sick animation. The hair is getting longer, like there is no doubt about it. I'm like, give it to us. Give it to us. We've been waiting so long for this. And Vegeta's like, ah! And we get that cool shot of the eye, and like, oh, there is no denying it. Awesome power up, electricity, golden blast. Vegeta is getting huge. We start seeing with the power of the action impact frame, and the big golden sight is the golden glow is right there, looking fantastic. And Tamagami 2 doesn't even know what's going on, and he's like, and right there, ladies and gentlemen, we get a pan up shot of it where there are no eyebrows, and there he is in all his glory. Close up of the eyes with it open, electricity there. Woo! At last, Super Saiyan 3! Vegeta! Super Saiyan 3! Super Saiyan 3! However you want to pronounce it. SS3 Vegeta. Wow, what a moment. Man, to understand this, Vegeta fans have been waiting for 30 years for this moment. 30 years. What, Son Goku first went SS3 back in 1994? And ever since then, people wonder, oh, is Vegeta going to accomplish the same thing at the end of Z? Did he accomplish it? No. When he went to Dragon Ball, GT, Vegeta was always portrayed as going SS2, and he skipped over to SS4. And then when we got to Dragon Ball Battle of Gods, Vegeta went SS2, but not 3, but he surpassed Goku at SS3. And stuff like that, and people are wondering like what the heck is going on there. And from here at this moment, Vegeta when he was in Dragon Ball Super, there was that moment he's about to fight Trunks in a sparring match, and Trunks said, okay, quick, go SS3, and Vegeta just went and he powered up to SS Blue. And so people just assume, well, Vegeta never could go SS3. Others say no, he probably had the ability but just didn't have a reason to go SS3 because there's been a lot of documented issues with that form when it comes to stamina. So this is a debate going on for 3 decades, and the late great Akira Toriyama decides to go ahead and give the Vegeta fans this big moment, giving us all this big moment. You know what, I'm going to end the debates, I'm going to end all the questions in doubt. One of his last parting gifts to this world for Vegeta fans: I give you Vegeta SS3. He can indeed do the form. Phenomenal, and his is different. I love the design. Like just going back here, the design, I love it. Even his small body kind of reminds me of Sonic the Hedgehog when he goes his golden form. I'm hoping that we get to at least see Vegeta go at SS3 as an adult, you know, maybe at the end of this series. Now, I know there's going to be a big controversy here. A lot of people, and I've listened to tons of podcasts and other content creators, and I've read a lot of stuff on X about this. So a lot of people have been debating, like, okay, so since Vegeta could go SS3, why, when it came to Battle of Gods, which takes roughly about 4 or 5 years after this, why did he not go up against Beerus in SS3? That was his much stronger form. And I was gonna be like, man, you know what? It is very much interesting. Like, yeah, why didn't he go? You know, that would have been a stronger form, even if he rages out. But I've heard a lot, and a lot of content creators, other ones that I've heard say, basically is that Vegeta is a smart fighter. He's not going to risk himself going into SS3 knowing there's stamina issues when he could fight at SS2 and basically be able to fight Beerus like that. But you kind of would think, though, if he's going to do stamina, then going SS3 basically would give him more power, because you just got to know, all right, you got to end the fight quickly. It gives you the power and speed that you need, but you got to end the fight quickly. And surely enough, he wanted to end the fight quickly with Beerus. He didn't want to have some long dragged out fight. So it doesn't really make much sense from an in-universe standpoint. Like, there's ways to make it make sense, but then it's kind of like, yeah, but he's enraged. Wouldn't he go to his full power and try to unleash it as fast as possible? So, you know, it's a lot of stuff right there. Of course, the real reason is Toriyama probably had no intention of ever giving Vegeta SS2, which is why he decided to have SS2 be the one that surpassed Vegeta, because even Goku still uses SS3 from time for a quick power and speed boost. So hopefully there is a reason explained right here, but most likely that is the reason. Vegeta just didn't want to take it. I would say it's like being in a situation where you're up against a much bigger, stronger opponent, and you've got 2 weapons next to you, and that's your only way of equalizing, because if you fight that person head up, it's not going to do much. You could take this big giant mallet or whatever, or giant weapon, and, you know, like Thor's hammer or something, and it's hard to lift. It would do more damage, but what good is it going to do to you if you can't really swing it and use it to its full potential? Or you can take this metal pipe, which, hey, it's lighter, but you know what? You got a better shot of swinging that around. That's kind of why I'm thinking Vegeta, maybe when he fought Beerus, he didn't want to go with a big giant hammer one, because, yeah, it's more power, more speed, but that stamina was probably going to kill him really quickly against Beerus, so let me go with the lighter one, SS2, where I can fight a lot more quicker. Now, is Vegeta really thinking that logical when he's enraged because he just wants to take this guy out for hitting his wife? I don't know. So it gets really mucky trying to explain this, and that's the way it is, unfortunately, sometimes in Dragon Ball. But man, 3 decades of waiting. It has been a long time coming. Glad to know that Vegeta officially, from the mind, the pen, and the concept of Akira Toriyama, Vegeta is SS3, confirmed from the creator himself. That is phenomenal. Now, getting to this fight. So, after that, Vegeta is all business. SS3, he's looking. I love this shot so much I had to use it as the thumbnail. Vegeta is ready. And Goku, he is shocked. He's like, when did Vegeta learn to do that? And after this, that's where, Bulma, aka Bulma, lets him know, well, he's been training, and that's phenomenal, because think about it. Goku trained for 7 years to reach SS3, and even then, even in his dead body, as he famously told Fat Majin Buu, sorry that took so much longer than the others, but I haven't had much chance to practice this one. This is what I call a Super Saiyan 3. Now, look at Vegeta, just after 1 year, roughly, because I think, Daima takes place 1 year right after, 1 year right after, the events of Buu, so, 1 year after, he was able to master SS3, and that's kind of what Vegeta's always done. Once he sees how something can be done, he trains his butt off, and he mastered it, Goku, he barely was able to master an SS3, and from what we've seen so far, Goku still hasn't been able to go SS3 in his kid body, so, basically, we're gonna see, eventually when that happens, but once again, you see the real fighting genius of Vegeta and how he is able to adapt, and that's basically a lot of what Bulma was explaining. Let me get a sip of water here. Alright, so from here, Vegeta SS3 ain't playing around anymore. He is ready for battle against Tamagami 2. Tamagami 2, and more respect to Vegeta because, of course, he did his own power, unlike Tamagami 2. And then from here, Tamagami 2 goes for the swinging, and Vegeta SS3 looking super awesome. Just looking right up to him like, all right, we about to finish this now. And so Tamagami 2, he starts going ahead with his trident. He starts swinging that boy around. And he flies right on towards Vegeta, but then boom, he stops in his tracks because Vegeta is already there in his face. Like, what's good, homie? What's good? And then he goes ahead to the side while Tamagami 2 is still looking at where Vegeta was. Vegeta's like, what's good? I said over here, what's good? And from there, Tamagami 2, he just cannot even get Vegeta. Vegeta's just swinging right past him, and then Vegeta lifts his leg, and boom! Right in the neck. Look at that. Had that boy like, oh! Almost decapitated him, and he's doing it Vegeta style, kicking with him. Now we know where Vegeta obviously got that style. It's from Vegeta with the fists, with the arms crossing, using his legs. That was really sick right there. Since Tamagami 2 flying, and I love this shot of Vegeta basically looking like, okay, this fight ain't nothing, you ain't nothing. And he sends that boy right into the water, and Vegeta SS3 flies straight down, and now they are in the sea. I like to see that Karakin try to eat him now. Let's go. Where the Karakin still wants some meal, I'd love to see him try right now. And so there you go, SS3 Vegeta like, come on, let's go, come on. And he starts looking over in the sky. The respect, he's gonna take his eyes off him. Now you should never really take your eyes off the prize. So Tamagami 2 is like, you're not looking at me again, here I come. And Vegeta's like, let's go, let's try something. And then boom, as soon as he gets that trident right over next to Vegeta, boom, Vegeta catches it with his finger, and Tamagami 2, man, he is stunned, like, I cannot believe this guy. And he starts going like, and very much just like his son did, his future version of his son did when he faced Goku, or no, very much like his rival SonGoshuaku did when he faced his future son in a little sparring match. Vegeta with one finger is able to dodge it. He's just basically dodging all this with one finger. This is sick. I love this callback. Like I said, there's going to be a lot of stuff in here that call back to Dragon Ball Z. This is a celebration of the entire franchise. Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball GT, and Dragon Ball Super, all in this. So man, that is just fantastic. And then from here, you end up getting where Vegeta basically is able to is able to basically continue to dodge this all with just one finger. And Vegeta basically, look at that, look how awesome this face is. Vegeta not playing around, and then he goes with that trident, and boom, Vegeta stops him before he can even try to penetrate right through his eyes. He's got both of them. He's got both with his hands, and I love this part right here. He starts bending the trident and Tamagami 2 is like and from here, oh man, I skipped over. Let me see my hit my next page scene here in OBS. Sorry about that. But yeah, he's like, and from there, boom, Vegeta breaks his stuff with just two fingers. Two fingers breaks him. And then from there, man, Tamagami 2 is like, I can't believe you just did that. And now, I'll get Tamagami 2 is like, oh, you son of a, and Vegeta's like, I don't care. Let's go. What's good? What you got without your little toy now? But that I'm up here trash talking like Vegeta would be trash talking. But I think that's what's interesting. So many times Vegeta trash talks, but Vegeta's all focused. He's not doing any talking. Vegeta just wants Tamagami 2 to understand his power all through his actions, to understand that you ain't nothing. And Vegeta goes right into the fist. We get another close up of the eye. This is like shot number 13 or 14 within this episode. And Vegeta basically goes ahead and does this cool kick and sends Tamagami 2 flying right all through the sea. He parts the sea. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. He has parted the sea like Moses. Only Vegeta did it right here with his foot. So that was like crazy. I'm like, dang, boy's kick so powerful. He parted the sea. And this whole shot here, man, this is crazy, man. Wow, Tamagami 2 he's just blocking. He's trying to hold on there, and he's like, oh crap. He said, what's going on? And Vegeta, he just flies right towards him, and Tamagami 2 is like, he ain't got much to answer. You know, he's just got to be on the defense. And Vegeta's like, oh, let's go. What's good? Come on, let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, I think Vegeta is taking it personal earlier. That big comment he said, and Vegeta's just, look at this. Vegeta's just kicking him. Vegeta is just kicking him. Boom, right to one arm, just kicking him with the arms crossed, Vegito style. And then Vegeta pulls back and boom, kicks him right out of his guard. And then boom, whacks Tamagami 2, boom, whacks him into the sternum or leg and sends that boy flying into the sky. And SS3 Vegeta, staying on top of things, flies right towards him, not gonna get on guard. He wants him to understand that this is all easy work. Arms folded, easy work, too easy. Just too easy. And so right there, and the sea is still split. The sea is still split. The sea itself cannot even recover from the power of SS3 Vegeta. And so Vegeta, I love that shot right there. Vegeta flies right above him, making sure he's gonna meet him right where he's about to land. He gets that foot ready, boom, kick right to the back, and sends Tamagami 2 flying. And Vegeta basically, once again, easy work, goes ahead and flies right back to him, and then does another shot, boom, kicks him out of the frame, pinballing this guy, boom, 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 boom. And Vegeta SS3, we get this cool shot of him flying. We get another close-up of the eye. This is like number 14 or 15 in the episode. And then he's flying, and I love this shot of Vegeta just looking so cool. This is so epic, flying with the water around him. Vegeta can't be stopped, won't be stopped. Look at him, he starts to unleash it. Okay, now the fact that Vegeta is letting his arms loose, you know it ain't gonna be good, because he's made it clear that I just need my feet to beat you. What is Vegeta doing? Ah, yes, classic pose, the Gallic Gun. And he starts forming that, and just, man, look how sick the animation looks. The purple lighting coming here. Vegeta already getting ready for the electricity of SS3, the Gallic Gun. And from here, Vegeta, we get another close-up, number 15 or 16 of the shot of the close-up right here. And Vegeta basically goes, Gallic Gun, and unleashes the Gallic Gun. That shot looked awesome, seeing inside the Gallic Gun of Vegeta, unleashing the awesome key purple blast that we know is the Gallic Gun. And it's not gold, it was gold in Dragon Ball Super, but here they got it as purple. And Tamagami 2, he catches this thing, and boom, he's able to grab it, but this thing sends him flying further into the sea. Sick looking animation, phenomenal, things gliding him across the sea. And Tamagami 2, to his credit, he's able to compress that Gallic gun, and he's like, I will not be defeated! And he unleashes this thing, hugs it, Bear hugs it, and boom, launches that thing in the sky, very much like Tamagami 2 did, but it don't matter. Look how quick Vegeta is. While he's busy throwing that thing in, Vegeta's like, gotcha, you let yourself down. No, he's like, you let your guard down. And then boom, right there as the explosion goes off, Vegeta comes in, and Tamagami 2's like, oh, how did he get there so quick? And bang, right in the face. Oh, feel the power of SS3 Vegeta. And look at Tamagami's like, oh. He felt all of that power, all of it, to the point that boy's whole power starts getting that glow. Now, once again, he's got the shine on him, but this time it's from Vegeta. And look at that, Vegeta's power, no fear, no hesitation, saying he can do this all day long. And right there, Tamagami through this whole thing's like, oh! At this point, he gotta be thinking, make it stop, make it stop, make it stop. And boom, sends Tamagami 2 in the sky, and he's flying right here into another, it looks like a planet. Boom, right through the planet, goes right through it. And then he said flying, oh, and he can't do anything. He's like, oh, he's just flying. Dude, this is where you need that meme. What's that one meme? Is it the shooting stars where they're sending them? I don't even know how the beat goes. You know, where they're shooting stars, they're flying all through the different multiple universes. That's what Vegeta basically is doing here. And so Vegeta teleports behind him. Tamagami 2 is just completely out of it. He's got no answer. He is completely at Vegeta's will, and he stops only because he bumps into Vegeta. And look at Tamagami 2. Oh, look at that. That is the face of a defeated man. Vegeta puts his arm right on his hand, right on Tamagami's back. And at this point, we realize he's holding Tamagami 2 up. So what Tamagami 2's got to say? He basically says, I give up. And then Vegeta, he lets go, drops that boy into the water, as if to say, you better. Goes like, you better. And Tamagami 2 flies right into the sea, like boom, looking something like the Wild Coyote cartoons from the Looney Tunes. And Vegeta right there, basically, ladies and gentlemen, he's looking at him. Remember earlier in the previous episode when he says, you're not a challenge? He said, go back home and suckle on your mommy's tit. Vegeta took that personal, ladies and gentlemen, and so he wanted to make sure that Tamagami 2 understood that he very much took that personal. And he turns around and then basically goes back into his base form. Dang! SS3 Vegeta, the winner by technical submission, Vegeta! Man, Vegeta owned Tamagami 2 there. That was an embarrassment. Chalk this one right up, ladies and gentlemen. We've seen some amazing Vegeta beatdowns like Kui, Dadoria. We've seen how he humiliated Android 19. We've seen how he's humiliated Pui Pui or Pui Pui from the Bobbity. From that Bobbity portion of the Majin Buu saga. Add this one right into there. This was phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. And I'm gonna be honest, ladies and gentlemen, might be a little bit spoiler coming up. I might do a top 10 greatest Vegeta transformation moments, and honestly, this is one of the greatest Vegeta moments, I think. Seeing Vegeta go SS3, ladies and gentlemen, right there, one of the greatest Vegeta moments we've ever seen in the entire franchise. And I think in terms of transformations, obviously, I don't think nothing can beat the OG transformation when he first went SS1, because we knew the journey and how hard Vegeta worked to get there. But SS3, this was phenomenal. I think this really beats out some of the best Vegeta transformations we've seen. So I could very well end up when I look at all that, I can very well end up seeing me putting this at probably number 2. Phenomenal. One of the all-time great Vegeta moments here, and I love it. You know, Dragon Ball DAIMA really making its place in Dragon Ball history, because this is going to be remembered for a long time to come. It really is. And there you see Goku's phenomenal. Pansy thinks this is phenomenal. Bulma, she knows her man. She knows her husband. She never doubted him one bit. You got Piccolo there smiling, Nadre smiling. They know not to doubt these Saiyajins. Glorio smiling, and Pansy's been made a believer in, and everything like that. Oh my gosh, so amazing. Oh boy, let me get a sip of water here for this. All right, and so Neva continues on saying, well, I guess it was meant to be. And there you see Tamagami 2, he ends up putting his trident back together, very similar to how Tamagami 1 put, or was it Tamagami? Yeah, basically how all the Tamagamis put their weapons back together. And so now comes the final test, because of course there's always a big final test. And that's really cool too. I never noticed that the other Dragon Balls were engraved right there. So that's really awesome to see. And so Vegeta's like, what type of test? And this is where Tamagami 2 forms this big old white board or whatever, and he starts basically reading off these stories. I'm not going to recap the stories. I didn't put them in my notes. It was a very long, drawn out story that's kind of like said in almost like one long sentence and everything, basically. So he basically explains all these stories, asking, okay, they take this away, how much is left and everything, and he gives that, and, basically very complicated, I guess, math thing. He's trying to make it complicated for Vegeta and stuff. And Bulma's like, oh, yeah, that was never Vegeta's specialties and stuff like that. Even Piccolo's sweating because it's like, oh, I don't know this stuff. And Vegeta, I love the face of Vegeta, like, because he can't figure this stuff out. He's a warrior, dang it. He's a fighter. He doesn't. This is the stuff he bashed Gohan about for doing all that school stuff, and now he's got to do it here. So Tamagami goes like, basically, given the entire story, if this is how much there is, and then this is how much is taken away, and all that stuff, and you mix all this together, he's like, how much is left? And Vegeta basically ends up saying the answer is 0. And the Dragon Ball shines, and Tamagami 2 goes, that's correct. And Vegeta's like, what? I got that right. I wondered, did Vegeta figure that out, or he just guessed like, I'm just gonna go for it, count 0. Oh my gosh, that was great. And so they're jumping up and down. There you see Panzy. Vegeta got the answer right, and from there, Tamagami 2 takes the Dragon Ball and hands it over to Vegeta. Vegeta grabs it right there, the 2-star ball, and I love it. Vegeta's annoyed that he got that right, but he got the Dragon Ball. Let's get out of here. And so Tamagami 2 respectfully tells Neva he apologized that he was not able to keep the Dragon Ball safe and all that stuff. And Neva says, this is the actual part that I was thinking of. This is where Neva himself actually ends up stating that, it was meant to be. That's what it was meant to be. And so Tamagami 2 resumes looking over what? I don't know. I guess they're just programmed to do that, but if they were programmed and designed by Neva just for that purpose, I guess they're just going to sit there, nothing to protect. And so Vegeta walks over, and I love that he basically tosses that thing right over to his loving wife, Bulma, and she grabs it, and she catches the Dragon Ball. So that was cool, and Vegeta's like, all right, let's get out of here. And Hibiscus is like, oh, you are amazing, and all this stuff and everything. Really strong. And so Goku, and once again, more acknowledgement of why I believe we'll see Vegeta not end up using SS3 much past Daima, is because Goku, he knows how exhausting SS3 can be on the stamina. So he offers Vegeta the stamina bugs, and he mentions how, yeah, these are like sensu beans and everything. And this was actually a really pretty funny little Easter egg here for fans. So, he tries to offer him the bug, and Vegeta is like, ugh, he's freaked out about this, and so he smacks Goku's hand away and says, get that out of here. And basically Goku goes like, what do you mean? You used to eat critters all the time back in the day. Vegeta says, well, I've become more civilized now. I've changed who I was, or something like that. More sophisticated, or something like that. So this is a direct reference to when we first see Vegeta in the manga and the anime. You'll remember he's sitting on some sort of creature who he killed on their planet, and he's ripped its arm off, and he's eating the thing. And so it's like Vegeta used to eat stuff like that, and now he doesn't want to eat that. He's gotten too accustomed to Bulma, aka Bulma's chef's cooking, and now he can't go back to that. So I thought that was an interesting line. Now, how does Son Goku know this? Well, given the time that him and Vegeta have probably spent over the years, he probably found that out. I mean, at this point, I think this is where Goku and Vegeta are really becoming close. So maybe in the last year, since defeating Buu, this is where they become more closer as friends, because before then it was kind of just a rival thing. And maybe that's how he found out that that's what Vegeta used to eat, or maybe North Kyle Sama, aka King Kai, told him that. So yeah, at some point Goku found out that Vegeta in his younger years used to basically eat a lot of critters and stuff like that. And Goku even trolls Vegeta about it at this point, and Vegeta gets angry. So another cool callback from when Vegeta got that big angry scary face to Goku when he tried to offer the elder Kaioshin Bulma for a kiss or something like that, if he agreed to if he agreed to something on the when they were back in the Kid Buu portion of the Majin Buu saga. So that looked like a really cool throwback to that, basically. And so from here, Nahare, basically, aka the Supreme Kai, aka the East Kaioshin, he says, hey, let's head on to Demon Realm #1. And everyone is ecstatic, especially Goku, like, yeah. So that's cool. Everything is going. They've got 2 Dragon Balls and they're ready to head off. And so from there, I love it that you got the Karakens. He's just swimming in the back, chilling now and everything. And then Tamagami 2 is gonna just stay on that little island right there. And the Dragon Balls, basically both of them are now with the ship. And they do something interesting here where Glorio, he can't start the ship. And so Panzy looks inside the ship and realizes that, well, this thing is unplugged. So she puts that back together and she gives a thumbs up. Hey, the ship is ready to go. And so the ship then pulls off and you see some black smoke there. So I don't know if that means the ship is starting to just fade. There's no reason that they had to use up more screen time. Granted, I know they wasted almost nearly 3 minutes of screen time with, as I call it, the Big Bird reject and the Big Smurf that couldn't, and that one episode that Goku was flying around trying to get the Dragon Balls. But you had to wonder, somebody was fiddling around with that ship and they didn't know it. That had to be shown there for some reason. It's just not like, okay, hey, let's just randomly say, hey, the ship's not going to work. Well, hey, just plug this back in. Okay, it works out. All right, let's go. And it's never mentioned again. Like, why waste the screen time there? So it had to be used for something right there. Take another water break here. All right, so from here, Gomah is basically completely irate because all the Dragon Balls is in the possession of not him. Not himself. And Degesu is completely concerned, and this is interesting as we get towards the end of the episode. You basically get here, Gomah, he is like, all right, it's time. He says, if that's how it's going to be, then I'll have no other choice but to. And there you go. Basically, there you go. From there, we have Gomah leaving us with some sort of cliffhanger that he's got some last trick up his sleeve. Is Gomah the big story here? We're gonna wonder, is he got something big planned? So it's gonna be interesting to see where the next episode goes from here. Also from here, hey, we got Anonymous Donut in the chat. Thanks for joining the stream. Says Glorio did it to the ship to stall time. I'm thinking, yeah, he would be the one that would have the know-how to do that. I'm pretty sure, yeah, there's a good chance that Glorio did that, and we'll probably find out towards the episode. So, like I said, I want to believe that this was done for a reason and not just them wasting the last few seconds of airtime. And so we get to the next preview of the episode here, and from there, you see Son Goku. They're on this dinosaur-looking thing, and Goku, he's having a hard time, as if he's on ice or something. This is an awesome-looking shot. Like I told you, I've said in many episodes, I think Akira Toriyama knocked it out of the park with Dr. Arunsu's design, and I love that we've seen her be menacing and goofy at the same time. This shot right here looks awesome, phenomenal. The background, the composition, the design, the Dragon Ball there, the way she has it put on her desk, like, this looks phenomenal. I love the way this shot looked. Everything about this, man, this is just absolutely great. And then you see this big looking bear thing is about to try and stomp on Son Goku, and he evades that. And then you have like these little rat creatures. You know what this reminds me of, with the little red lights back in the Garlic Jr. saga, that filler series saga from Dragon Ball Z, when the black water mist basically went all over through the air, through the earth and everything, and it was even affecting the creatures. I remember there was a shot where these rats came out and attacked this one couple who was just walking near this one, what was that thing, was knocking them during this one he was knocking them out during this one what was that called, during this one they were in like an alleyway. Yeah, an alleyway. It's been a while since I've watched the Garlic Jr. saga, and if you've seen the saga and you've heard other people say things about it, you probably can understand why I exactly don't watch it all the time when I do want to watch some Dragon Ball. So that was interesting. Anonymous Donut in the chat says, I love the story direction of the show, but do you think the series will end once they get back to their age? That's a good question. Actually, I forgot to mention it, so thank you for saying that in the chat, because I did want to mention, and there's the last shot we get, by the way, Son Goku and Vegeta, they see something, so I think next episode is not going to be very action-packed. We got plenty of action in this episode, so now we can calm things down a little bit. That's interesting, because I just mentioned that earlier, that I want to see SS3 Vegeta in his adult form. I want to see that, because it would be really cool to see, because we know obviously once we get to Battle of Gods and Dragon Ball Super, if you go back and watch that, he doesn't do it in the series at all. So I would like to see, I'm wondering, are they going to become adults, and like, will they beat all the big bads and then get the Dragon Balls and become kids, or will they actually get the Dragon Balls, restore themselves back to adults, and then the final battle happens, which I think would be awesome, because I want to at least see adult SS3 Vegeta. Like, I'm hoping that SS3 Vegeta's legacy from the mind of Toriyama isn't just him as a kid. I would love to see what SS3 Vegeta looks like as an adult, because Daima really is our one and only chance to see it, because unless Vegeta has any other reason, and really truthfully speaking, there's no reason to go SS3 anymore with those stamina control, with that stamina being the way it is. So especially when you have the God forms now, they're much better and stronger and faster. So yeah, that's going to be interesting. Also, I realize we might have, because I'm doing horizontal and vertical streaming, we might have a lot of new people checking out in the chat. So if you really enjoy the way I break down Dragon Ball, here's a few little plugs for what's on my channel. So I did Thank You Akira Toriyama right there. It's a tribute podcast where me and 3 of my other friends, we all sit down and just express what Toriyama meant to our lives. It's up on the channel now, about 23 minutes long. Yeah, we just, it's got a lot of editing to it and everything to go with, lots of artwork, pictures of Toriyama, a lot of screenshots from the show, as we break down the themes and the messages that Toriyama put in Dragon Ball and how it really had a positive impact on our lives. Also, coming to the channel soon, I haven't edited yet, so I just got this little makeshift picture of it. I worked with a very talented cosplayer, Sticky Stardust, and we did a very much Gogeta themed podcast. So if you are a big fan of Gogeta, whether it was in the Z movie 12, Dragon Ball GT, or Dragon Ball Super Broly, we're going to be breaking Gogeta down in this theme episode of that, so hope you guys be on the lookout for that one. Also, my friends and I, we all haven't got it edited yet, but we have a big giant mega super long review of Dragon Ball Superhero coming to the channel and everything, so be on the lookout. We're going to be breaking down Dragon Ball Super manga that was mostly done by Toyotaro with Toriyama's guidance, the Dragon Ball Superhero movie, and of course the ending chapters of Dragon Ball Superhero the manga, which was of course done by Toyotaro and was last contributed by Toriyama himself. So that's going to be coming to the channel. Also there, first in-person podcast right there. We've got me working there. You see lots of multiple cameras, gonna have multiple camera shots, awesome backgrounds for Goku. So it was a 3-person podcast, very much Son Goku theme. Working with Haley Carbonaro here, very talented actress, and also a model agent. It was really good to have her here on to talk Son Goku. If you are not a fan of Dragon Ball GT, here's a spoiler: she's your girl. So I think you all will enjoy her roasting. Opinions of Dragon Ball GT. And of course, I'm going to have Rebecca Rose, who's also been in some of my other Dragon Ball related videos there. She is repping the Bulma, the OG Bulma dress and everything. So once again, if you're not a fan of Super Saiyan 3, Goku going it the first time ever, once again, she's your girl. You might be wanting to hear what she has to say about that. And of course, y'all know I bring the energy always there, so and everything. We shot it to be in a very cinematic way, so hope you all enjoy that. and stuff. So now let's go ahead and get to the chat, see what we got going on here. All right. Sorry, I don't know, something's going on with OBS right now, so it's not displaying the chat as big as it used to. So right here we've got, it looks like Anonymous Donut says Vegeta could go SSJ3, but he never used it because Goku claimed it first. I'm guessing sort of like knowing instant transmission, he doesn't do it because Goku does. Could be a pride thing, right? Yeah, Vegeta does always have a pride thing, you know, but I believe by the time we get that, he's kind of I want to say he's kind of over that, though. I know Dragon Ball Super and even Toriyama, when he went back and did the ending, he redid the ending of DBZ to where Vegeta still wants to surpass Goku. So I mean, maybe he does have something against it and everything. But yeah, it has been documented that SS3 has a lot of stamina issues. That was very much documented in Z all throughout Goku. You know, that's why he got so exhausted. It drained the stamina, drained the time that he could spend in the real world, in the living world, while he had his dead body. It completely exhausted him of whatever few minutes he had left when he went SS3 against Gotenks. And then we saw that when he did get his living body, he said, man, it took so much energy when he was a dead person to try and keep SS3. His living body can barely even take it at all, which is why it was so hard for him to beat Kid Buu, because of those stamina issues. And when we see Gotenks, when he went SS3, he lost the power before he could even finish off Super Buu, and he was in base form for the rest of his fusion time. So even in Dragon Ball GT, SS3 couldn't handle, his small body couldn't even handle SS3, and that's him trying to get more adapted. And we saw that throughout Super, SS3 had a lot of issues, which is why Goku chose not to use it. So yeah, SS3 has a lot of issues there, and I think Vegeta realizes that, and hopefully we'll see that. But hey, I'm looking forward to seeing Goku and Vegeta go SS3 in Daima, and hopefully we get to see them as adults, you know, just one last hoorah for that form and everything. Because I gotta admit, SS3 is my favorite all-time form, and I'm glad that Vegeta looks a little bit different. Yeah, I know Goku and Gotenks, they have it where it goes down to their legs. Vegeta's kind of spikes up, but I think it's cool. It's cool that it's more unique, and it looks awesome. Like I said, I hope we get to see it as an adult and everything. That being said, if that's it for the chat tonight, hey, Anonymous Donut, thank you for stopping by the chat, and for everybody who watched this, thank you for watching live or even on demand. That being said, you can watch more of my Dragon Ball content right there on the screen, and make sure to go ahead, like, comment, share, and give me your thoughts of what you thought of episode 12, and all my social media platforms will be right there in the pinned comment and description below. Until episode 13, take care.